"She is a mermaid," the villagers shouted, their voices trembling with fear and wonder. All eyes were fixed on Zara, rising from the sacred pond with scales glistening on her legs, her hair flowing like ripples of water. Children screamed, elders gasped, and whispers spread like fire across the crowd. But how could this be? Zara, the quiet girl who had always avoided water, was a child of the river. In the ancient village of Igodo, nestled between rolling hills and the sacred Miri River, lived a girl whose very existence defied understanding. Her name was Zara, and she carried a secret so profound that even she didn't fully comprehend it. While other children splashed joyfully in the village stream, Zara would stand at a distance, her dark eyes filled with an inexplicable fear. When the women went to fetch water at dawn, Zara's mother, Mama Ifioma, would send her in the opposite direction to gather firewood instead. "That child is strange," whispered Mama Adiz to her neighbor as they watched Zara hurry past the well without even glancing at it. "What kind of girl in Africa fears water like it's fire itself?" The village elders stroked their gray beards thoughtfully. They had seen many things in their long lives, but never a child who trembled at the sound of rainfall or who would rather walk 10 miles around a puddle than step through it. Mama Ifioma knew the whispers followed her daughter everywhere. She saw how Zara's shoulders tensed whenever the other girls invited her to swim, how her hands shook when she had to wash dishes. But what could she tell them? How could she explain that some secrets are too dangerous to share, even with those you love? The annual River Dance Festival was approaching, a celebration where every unmarried maiden in Igodo must participate to honor Ezenwanyi Miri, the river spirit. For 18 years, Mama Ifioma had found excuses to keep Zara away. But this year, the village council had made it mandatory. "Every daughter of Igodo will dance," declared Chief Aqua firmly. "The river spirit grows impatient with our offerings." As Zara stared at the festival preparations, her heart pounded like thunder. She didn't know that her mother had been counting down to this moment for 18 years, praying to every ancestor that this day would never come. But destiny, like the river itself, always finds its way to the sea. The night before the River Dance Festival, Mama Ifioma sat alone in her hut, staring at a small clay pot hidden beneath her sleeping mat. Inside lay 3 perfect river pearls, pearls that ordinary humans should never possess. Her mind drifted back 18 years to that fateful evening when everything changed. She had been desperate then, newly married but unable to conceive after 3 years. The village medicine man had tried everything. Her husband's family whispered cruel words about her dry womb. In her desperation, she had done something forbidden. She went alone to the sacred pond at midnight to plead with Ezenwanyi Miri. "Great river spirit," she had whispered, tears mixing with the holy water, "grant me a child, and I will serve you faithfully all my days." The water began to glow with an otherworldly light. Slowly, a figure emerged, beautiful beyond description, with flowing hair like silver streams and eyes that held the depth of all oceans. "Your prayer moves me, daughter of Igodo," the river spirit's voice was like water over stones. "I will bless you with a child, but know this, she will be special. She will belong to both worlds, yours and mine." Ezenwanyi Miri extended her hand, and 3 pearls appeared. "When she comes of age, the water will call her home. You may delay this moment, but you cannot prevent it. Love her well, for your time together is borrowed." Mama Ifioma had trembled. "How will I know when the time comes?" The sacred waters will not let her drown, even if she cannot swim. When she touches the holy pond, her true nature will be revealed. 9 months later, Zara was born during the heaviest rainfall Igodo had ever seen. As the midwife placed the baby in her arms, Mama Ifeoma noticed something extraordinary: tiny, almost invisible scales along Zara's neck that disappeared within hours. For 18 years, she had lived in fear of this moment, praying that love could somehow overcome destiny. Outside, drums began to beat, announcing the festival's beginning. Dawn broke over Igodo with the sound of celebration. Colorful fabrics fluttered in the morning breeze as women prepared elaborate head wraps and beaded jewelry. The air filled with the aroma of palm wine and roasted yam, but Zara couldn't eat a single bite. "My daughter, you must try," Mama Ifeoma pleaded, holding out a piece of fresh bread. Her hands trembled so violently that crumbs scattered on the floor. Zara noticed her mother's strange behavior. "Mama, why do you seem more afraid than I am?" Before Mama Ifeoma could answer, young maidens arrived at their door, giggling and chattering excitedly. Ada, the chief's daughter, grabbed Zara's hand. "Come. We must prepare together. The river dance begins at noon." As they walked toward the sacred grove, Zara's feet felt heavy as stones. With each step closer to the pond, her heart raced faster. Something deep inside her stirred, a pull she had never felt before, both terrifying and strangely familiar. "Look how the water sparkles today," whispered Chioma, another maiden. "The elders say when the sacred pond glows like this, Ezenwanyi Miri is especially pleased." Zara stared at the ancient pool surrounded by smooth stones worn by countless festivals. The water seemed to call her name in a voice only she could hear. Her skin tingled strangely, and for a moment, she thought she saw tiny silver scales appear on her arms, but when she blinked, they were gone. The village gathered in a great circle around the pond. Drums began their hypnotic rhythm as Chief Akwu raised his staff. "Daughters of Igodo," his voice boomed across the grove. "Today we honor the river spirit who gives us life. Dance with joy, for she watches over us." One by one, the maidens began their traditional steps, moving closer to the water's edge. Zara found herself swept into the circle, her body moving to rhythms that felt ancient and familiar, though she had never learned these steps. The drums crescendoed as the circle of dancing maidens moved closer to the sacred pond. Zara tried to stay on the outer edge, but the current of dancers swept her forward like a river's tide. "Feel the spirit move through you," called out Maman Kechi, clapping enthusiastically from the crowd. But Zara felt more than just spirit, she felt something awakening in her very bones. Her skin began to shimmer with an otherworldly glow that she prayed no one else would notice. The pull toward the water grew stronger with each beat of the drum. As the dance reached its peak, tradition demanded that each maiden approach the pond's edge and offer a prayer to Ezenwanyi Miri. One by one, they knelt by the sacred waters, whispered their hopes, and retreated safely. Then it was Zara's turn. Her legs felt like they belonged to someone else as she approached the gleaming water. The entire village watched in respectful silence, unaware that Mama Ifeoma was silently weeping behind her head wrap, praying to every ancestor to protect her daughter from what was about to unfold. Zara knelt on the ancient stones, worn smooth by generations of worshippers. As she leaned forward to whisper her prayer, the mysterious pull became overwhelming. The water seemed to reach for her, calling in a voice that resonated in her soul. "Great river spirit," she whispered, "I don't understand why I fear you when every part of me yearns to." The wet stone beneath her hand gave way. Time slowed as Zara tumbled toward the sacred pond. The village gasped in collective horror. No one had ever fallen into the holy waters during the festival. Some accidents were surely omens of great misfortune. But as Zara hit the water, instead of the expected splash and struggle, something extraordinary happened. The pond erupted in brilliant silver light that illuminated the entire grove. Gasps turned to awestruck silence as the water began to sing, an ethereal melody that had not been heard in Igodo for generations. From the shimmering waters of the sacred pond, a figure rose that took every breath away. Where Zara had fallen, a magnificent being now emerged, her dark skin gleaming with iridescent scales, her hair flowing like liquid silver, and her eyes holding the ancient wisdom of the deep waters. The village stood frozen in wonder and fear. Children hid behind their mothers' wrappers while elders fell to their knees, recognizing the signs they had only heard in the oldest stories. "Esenwanyi Miri has returned," whispered the village's oldest grandmother, her voice crackling with reverence and terror. But this was not the river spirit, this was still Zara, transformed into her true self. As she floated gracefully in the sacred waters, memories flooded her mind like a dam breaking. She remembered the dreams of underwater kingdoms, the songs that called to her in languages she didn't know she understood, the longing that had lived in her heart since birth. From the crowd, a heart-wrenching wail broke the sacred silence. Mama Ifioma pushed through the stunned villagers, falling to her knees at the water's edge. "My daughter," she cried, her 18 years of carefully guarded secrets spilling out like tears. "I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you with me longer." Chief Aqua's voice shook as he demanded answers. "Ifioma, what is the meaning of this? How is your daughter?" Through her sobs, Mama Ifioma confessed everything: the desperate prayer, the river spirit's blessing, the pearls hidden beneath her mat, and the promise that had haunted her dreams for 18 years. As her mother spoke, Zara felt a profound peace settle over her. The fear that had plagued her entire life dissolved like morning mist. She was not broken or cursed, she was blessed, chosen to bridge two worlds. "Do not weep, Mama," Zara's voice now carried the musical quality of flowing water. "Your love gave me 18 beautiful years in your world. Now I understand my purpose." The river spirit herself materialized beside Zara, her divine presence causing the entire village to prostrate themselves. "People of Igodo," Esenwanyi Miri's voice resonated like distant thunder, "your faithfulness has been rewarded. Zara will serve as my messenger between our realms, ensuring the waters will always bless your land. She is not lost to you, she is transformed for you." What did you think of Zara's incredible transformation? Like this story if it moved you, comment your thoughts and subscribe for more heartwarming African folktales.